Today, Sunday, the 13th of April 2025, we have some hand-picked match prediction to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And as usual, today we have a very long list to share with you. So we just want to proceed directly with the event so that we are not going to make this video to be very long. And to those of you who want to access our hand-picked event, we share to members only, including game prediction for corner kicks, match prediction for goals probability and straight wins with huge odds to take your winning to the next level. Then you want to make sure to subscribe to the level 2 pro plan or the level 3 master plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. So without wasting time, let's proceed with the first game of our today's pick. But before we proceed, I have this quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel here, this section labeled as the home, we provide match prediction to members only. You can see members only video, and here we provide hand-pick event to our members based on the games in terms of corner kicks, top events, upcoming corner kick events, and other criteria which you can take advantage of it. We also provide top-notch match prediction classes to our members. For example, if you're a member of the level 2 pro plan, you have access to the level 2 pro classes as well. This will give you access to the live match corner kick strategy for members only, a simple trick to make consistent win, complete tutorial, the match prediction win strategy you have never seen before for members only, the straight win and comeback strategy that will amaze you, the tactical straight win and 2.5 goal strategy for members only, as well as 99% win rate strategy for members only. Once you become a member of the level 2 pro plan, you can access all of this video tutorial in one place. The link is below this video, and start to implement this strategy to make more wins. But if you become a member of the level 3 master, you have access to level 3 master classes as well. This will give you access to the excellent corner kick strategy being revealed to members only, the top secret AI tool we use for goals, match pick, and straight win probability, the game changer corner kick strategy that revealed the top secret site we use for corner kick picks, 6 amazing AI tool we use, match prediction strategy step by step for home and away win match prediction, and as well as 2.5 goal strategy to beat the bookie and win even more. So once you become a member of the level 3 master, you have access to master classes tutorial all in one place, as you can see here, and become a master and start to implement the strategy we have explained in the various video tutorials for you at your advantage. So that being said, let's now proceed with the first game of our today's list. Looking at the first event, we are looking at Portugal in the Liga Portugal. We are looking at Benfica against Arouca. For this event, Benfica have proved to be very amazing in the recent event they've had, scoring 3 goals in the 2 most recent gameplay they have just had in the LP itself. The opponent, on the other hand, have proved to concede very much. The defensive line is not good. Against Braga, they concede 2, and they score 1 against AFS. Of course, the offensive strength is not as powerful as compared to that of Benfica. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they've had by their performances, we are going to see that the home team, in terms of the form, by the form of the home, Benfica have proved to be very amazing. They sit here in the first place. They are toppling this table. They've had 5 games recently at home, all the 5 wins. They have scored 16, conceding 4. That's a good offense and defense. But if we look at that of Arouca, on the other hand, the defensive line is not as tough as that of the home. They've had 5 games at away with just 2 wins, 2 draw and 1 loss, 8 goals scored and 7 conceded. See, the defense is not very tight and the offense of Benfica is very, very strong. We looked at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at the home team Benfica to be the favorite to lead as one of the major pick, as well as at least just 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time is our major pick. Looking at the next, we looked at Netherlands in the Eerste Divisie. We are looking at Cambuur against Jong Utrecht. In this event, Cambuur have proved to be very amazing in the recent event they have had, scoring 3, 1, 5 in the recent gameplay they have had. That of Jong Utrecht, on the other hand, have proved to concede very much with the weak defensive line. Of course, they are coming to meet for this particular tournament, and looking at the stand performance in terms of the form by the home and the way the home team Cambuur have proved to be on a good stand. Here, if we look at its performance, they proved to sit on the second place. They've had 5 games recently at home, 4 wins, scoring 12, conceding 4. Good offense. And looking at that of its opponent, on the other hand, the defensive line and the offense is not as powerful as that of Cambuur. You can see that they have had 5 games recently at away, just 1 win. They have had just 3 goals scored, conceding up to 17, giving a weak defense and giving advantage for the home to take advantage of the weak defense of that away. So look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, since the away team have a very weak defensive lineup, we look at goal probability to occur. At least 1.5 goal in full time as one of the major pick, as well as 2 goals over. This is our major pick for this particular event. Looking at the next pick, we look at Scotland in the SWPL women, that is Scotland Championship women. We are looking at Hibernian women against Hearts women. Hibernian have proved to score huge number of goals, even though they do concede as well. Against Rangers, they score 1, 3, 3, and 6 goals recently. If you look at that of its opponent, Hearts, also on the other hand, they prove to do concede and score also very much in recent event they have had. The stand performance of these two in terms of the recent event they have had, the form of the home Hibernian have proved to be very offensive. They sit here in the first place, toppling this table. They have recently had 5 games played, 4 wins, scoring 15, conceding 2, good offense and defense. If we look at that of Hearts, on the other hand, when they go at the way, the defensive line is not very tough. They concede 10 goals in 5 games played. They have just had 1 win at the way, giving Hibernian the upper hand, and as well as the possibility of goals with the weak defense of the away. As a result, we look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are expecting at least the possibility of 1.5 goal here in full time, since the defensive line of one side is weak, giving an opportunity for goals to be conceded. At least 1.5 goal is our major pick for this event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Latvia in the Veseliga. We are looking at Tukums against Riga. In this event, Riga have proved very offensive in the recent event they have had, scoring 5 goals recently against Lipiaja. Of course, they have also proved that the home have proved that their defensive and offensive line is not as good as that of the away. Looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event, the away team, in terms of the form, have proved that when they go at the away, they are very, very offensive. They've had recently 2 games played, scoring 6, conceding 3. Of course, the offense of 6, that's an average of 3 goals per game to prove that they are good. And if you look at that of the home in terms of the performances, you're going to see that Tukums have proved that they are also good at offense and the defense is not very tight. So both of the two sides want to impress, more shoot on and off target, and therefore want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides want to impress. So we are looking at one, the away team Riga to lead as one of the major pick. But of course, since both sides will cause more shoot on and off target, goal probability comes in. So we look at least also the possibility of 1.5 goals in full time for this gameplay. Looking at the next, we look at Greece in the Super League. We're looking at a match between Panathinaikos against PAOK. These are 2 teams of good strength. Panathinaikos is also very offensive, especially when they come at home, scoring 3, 3, 2, and 2 in the recent gameplay they've had. PAOK also is a good strength, scoring capacity team, scoring 3, scoring 1, 1, and conceding also as much. If you look at the stand performance comparison of these two in terms of the recent event they've had by their form, the home team have proved to be very offensive. They've had 5 games recently at home, all the 5 lead, scoring 11, conceding 4. That's a good offense. If you look at that of its opponent, on the other hand, they are also good at offense as well. They've had 5 games played, scoring 10, conceding 6. So both sides want to impress, causing more shoot on and off target. So we'll look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides want to impress, and we'll look at least 1.5 goal in full time or 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we looked at Czech Republic in the Fortuna League, Sparta Prague against Mlada, that is Mlada Boleslav. Sparta Prague have proved to be very good in recent event they have had, scoring 3, 2, 2, and 3. That of its opponent, on the other hand, proved to concede very much, conceding 3, 2 in recent event they have had. The stand performance comparison in terms of the form by the home and away, of course, the home Sparta Prague have proved to stand on the better place. They sit here on the 3rd place. They've had 5 games played recently with all 4 wins and having 1 lose. They've scored 11, conceding 6. Good offense. We look at that of its opponent. They prove that the defensive line, when they come at the way, of course, as you can see, is not very tight. They have conceded up to 9 goals in just 5 games played, giving opening for the home to take that advantage. As a result, we look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this event, we look at the home to be the favorite to lead as one of the major picks, so that's at least 1.5 goal here in full time. Looking at the next year, we looked at Netherlands in the Eredivisie. We are looking at Williams against Ajax. In this event, Ajax have proved to stand a better chance. They've had game against PSV, a lead, against Zwolle, a lead, against Ames City, also a lead, especially in the Eredivisie itself. But of course, they have also had games in the EL where against Eintracht Frankfurt managed to score a goal. That of William have just proved to concede very much. The defensive line is just very weak. And as a result, we look at the stand comparison of these two by their forms. Ajax have proved to stand in a better place, especially when they go at the way. They are very good. They have had 5 games played at the way, all the 5 leads, having 8 goals scored, and they have not conceded. That's a very strong defensive team. But if we look at William in terms of the recent event they've had at home, they prove that the defense here of William is in the last. They are not very good. They have conceded up to 11 goals at home. Playing 5 games, they have not had any win yet. 0 wins, conceding 11, giving advantage for Ajax. I want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at the away team Ajax to be the upper hand to lead as one of the major pick, as well as at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time is our major pick. Looking at the next, we looked at Portugal in the Campeonato. That is Campeonato de Portugal. We are looking at Vitoria Guimaraes with SC Vianense. In this event, the performance of Vitoria Guimaraes have proved to be very offensive, scoring 3, 1, and 2 in the recent event they've had. Its opponent SC Vianense have proved to concede very much. The offense is not as tight as that of the home. Looking at the stand comparison in terms of the recent event they've had by their form, of course, the home have proved that they stand a better chance, sitting on the second place. They've had 5 games played recently at home, or the 5 leads, scoring 11 and conceding 4. That's a good offense and defense. But if you look at that of the way in terms of the recent event they've had, they proved to sit right here on the 10th place. They've had 9 goals conceded in 5 games played, just 1 win for 5 games played, to prove that the defensive power is not strengthened. And as a result, we look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, we are looking at the home team to be the upper hand to lead as one of the major picks, as well as at least 1.5 goal here in full time. In the next, we looked at Bulgaria in the Vitoria Liga. We are looking at Yantra, Gabrovo with Nesebar. In this event, Yantra have proved to be very offensive, scoring 2, 3, and 4 in the recent event. They've had 3 as well. That of its opponent, Nesebar, have proved to be very weak in the defensive line, conceding 2, 5, and 2. The defense is very weak. Of course, comparing the strength performance in terms of the form by the home and away, they've proved that the home proved to be very good here. The sit on the first place, leading this table. They've had 5 games played at home, 4 leads and 1 draw. They have had 13 goals scored and 3 conceded. That's a good offense and defense. But if we look at that of its opponent, on the other hand, the defensive line is not very strong. As you can see, they conceded 11 goals in just 5 games played, no wins recorded. As a result, we look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, we look at the home to lead as one of the major picks, as well as at least 1.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Vietnam in the V League. We are looking at Nam Dinh against Ho Chi Minh. That is Ho Chi Minh. We are looking at Nam Dinh being offensive, scoring 2, 3 in recent event they have had recently in the VL itself. Its opponent, on the other hand, have also proved that in terms of the recent event, they do concede as much as they can. Comparing the stands in terms of the recent event they have had, the form of Nam Dinh have proved here that they sit on the first place. They've had 5 games recently at home, 4 wins, 1 loss. They have scored 12, considering 3 good offense and defense. That of its opponent away, on the other hand, have proved that, of course, the defense is not very tight, and as a result, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, we're expecting at least 1.5 goal here in full time, since the defensive line of one side is open. So 1.5 goal is our major pick for this event. Looking at the next, we looked at Germany in the Oberliga North. We're looking at Rostocker against Mahlsdorf. In this event, Rostocker, that is Mahlsdorf, have proved to be very offensive, scoring 3, 2, 2 in recent event they've had. The great is good. That of the home have proved to concede very much. The defensive line is not very good. And looking at the stand performance in terms of the recent event they've had, want to look here at the form comparison. The way have proved to be good in terms of the recent event they've had. They lead this table at the way. They've had 5 games played at the way, 4 lead, scoring 9, conceding 4. Good offense. But that of the home in terms of the recent event they've had have proved that the defensive line, of course, even though they're at home, concede very huge number of goals, up to 24 goals in just 5 games played, no win recorded, and want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, we look at the way to be the upper hand to lead as one of the major picks, as well as the possibility of goals, 1.5 or 2 goals over, since the defensive line of the home is very open. This is our major pick here. 1.5 goal in full time, 2 the way to lead in full time. Looking at the next, we looked at Nigeria in the NPFL. We are looking at Akwa United against El Kanemi. In this event, the home have proved to be very offensive, scoring 2-2 in recent events. El Kanemi, on the other hand, have proved to concede very much with a weak defensive line. As a result, comparing their strength in terms of the home and the way, the home have proved to have a better form comparing to that of its opponent. Of course, the form comparison have proved that the home is sitting on a better place. Here, they are in the 6th position. They've had 5 games played, 4 wins, 8 goals scored, 2 concede. Of course, the that of its opponent in terms of the away game played have proved to sit right here in the position that have a defense which is not good. They have not had any win yet, no goals scored, but they have conceded 8, giving advantage for the home to take that weak defense and want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, we look at the home to lead as one of the major picks, or to give it a double chance is our major pick for this event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked in the Nigeria and the NPL. We are looking at Remo against Katsina. Here, we look at Remo to be on the upper hand. They have had high offense, 2, 2, and 1. But that of Katsina have proved to concede very much with a weak defensive line, giving an opening for the home. Looking at the stand comparison in terms of the recent events, of course, you're going to see that based on the form, the home top this table here, sitting on the first place. They've had 5 events recently. At home, all the leads, scoring 9 and 1 concede. Offense and defense is perfect, but that of its opponent, on the other hand, proved to sit right here on almost the last place, conceding 10 in just 5 games played, with just 1 score, giving advantage for the home to take advantage of the weak defense of the way. We look therefore at 2 major picks here in full time. For this event, we look at the home to be the favorite to lead as the major pick or to give it a double chance in full time. To those of you who want to have access to our corner pick, hand-pick events we share to members only, as well as other match possibilities in terms of goals and straight wins and other events with better odds to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to be a member of the Level 2 Pro plan by subscribing as a Level 2 Pro membership package plan to have access to our hand-pick events based on corner kicks, straight wins, and also other match prediction tutorials to take your winning to the next height. Then you want to join the Level 2 Pro plan or Level 3 Master. For you who want to access this, then the link is below this video. You want to make sure to go there, navigate and click to become a member and start to have access to this feature to take your winning to the next height. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.